And then it was discovered, thanks to the wonderful feminist that Blake Lively is. To people that are wondering in the comments if you should feel bad because she looked anxious, the answer is no, you shouldn't feel bad, and she should be anxious, okay?
Blake Lively is reportedly stunned after Candace Owens dismantled her victim narrative, exposing what Owens described as every calculated and insincere move Lively made. The confrontation has sparked widespread discussion, with Owens' critique leaving Lively's public image under intense scrutiny and fans divided over the authenticity of her actions.
And this was really, truly just high school bullying done to the Hollywood extreme.
Candace Owens didn't hold back, calling out Blake Lively's alleged manipulations, media bribery, and desperate attempts to undermine Justin Baldoni. Owens labeled Lively's actions as unforgivable, condemning the extent of deceit she claims Lively orchestrated. The bold critique has sparked heated debate over Lively's intentions and public image.
Think about how Justin Baldoni felt when he was in that basement at his own movie premiere. And they were laughing and dancing upstairs, thinking they had almost done it.
Blake Lively is reportedly in full-blown crisis mode, and many are finding the situation amusing. Candace Owens has thoroughly dismantled her, highlighting the consequences of playing the victim while engaging in questionable actions behind the scenes. Owens, known for her sharp intellect, exposed Lively's alleged manipulations, leaving her without a PR team capable of repairing the damage. Lively, who may have believed herself untouchable, seemingly relied on feminist rhetoric and media influence to craft a heroic image. However, Owens' relentless critique has delivered a public reckoning, proving that no one is immune to accountability.
The task is not on the people who caught you doing that thing to extend forgiveness to you when you have not asked for forgiveness. That is the important part here, okay?
This is the issue with Hollywood elites like Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. They exist in a bubble, assuming their fans are naive. Blake tried to portray herself as a kind-hearted actress standing up against injustice, but Candace Owens tore off the facade, revealing her as a calculating, hypocritical, and media-obsessed manipulator. Owens exposed how Lively attempted to weaponize the media for her own agenda, shattering the carefully crafted image she relied on.
When you recapture that in your own imagination, recapture how Justin Baldoni and his family must have felt realizing that if it wasn't for us meddling kids, okay? If it wasn't for us meddling kids, he would have effectively been branded as a sexual pervert. That would have been the story of Justin Baldoni.
The internet is ablaze as this isn't just a minor critique. It's a full-scale expose on how celebrities manipulate victim narratives while controlling the story behind the scenes. Blake Lively, reportedly silent, is likely in chaos, scrambling for damage control while Candace Owens watches, unfazed. The most absurd part? Blake's fabricated victim act. Candace instantly dismantled it, mocking her shift from Hollywood darling to self-proclaimed industry victim. Despite the media initially buying into it, Blake's hypocrisy was laid bare as she allegedly worked to sabotage Justin Baldoni's career. The irony is both staggering and laughable.
This was meant to be an act of evil against a harmless person. She sensed his weakness and she went for it. And yes, I too would be anxious and uncomfortable if the world finally saw me for exactly what I was.
You can't play the role of a helpless victim while secretly coordinating with PR teams to tarnish your opponent. Candace Owens revealed the receipts showing Blake's team fed TMZ, People Magazine and Variety a pre-scripted sob story. Owens also highlighted the glaring contradictions in Blake's statements, dissecting them like a forensic expert. In December 2024, Blake painted Justin Baldoni as a villain, claiming years of suffering. Yet, by February 2025, her own legal filings contradicted her earlier accusations, exposing the inconsistencies in her narrative.
I don't forgive it, I will not forget it, but when she comes down and asks for an apology, then we can revisit that question.
Candace Owens effortlessly exposed the flaws in Blake's timeline, pointing out how her story kept shifting to align with media reactions. If Blake had solid evidence, why the constant changes? The answer is clear. There was no legitimate case, just a calculated PR stunt to garner sympathy and damage Justin Baldoni's career. Candace saw through the charade instantly, and anyone with a critical mind should too.
Who was into a category of porn that nobody has ever heard of, which is a woman giving birth, realized that they sat down, they made threats in an effort to take over his movie. And when they didn't get what they wanted, they were willing to brand him as a sexual predator via one of the most powerful news organizations in the world.
The highlight of Candace Owens' takedown was exposing Blake Lively as a fake feminist. While Lively loudly champions women's empowerment, it's only when it serves her agenda. She was vocal during the Me Too movement, pretending to care about accountability, yet her actions reveal hypocrisy, prioritizing self-interest over genuine advocacy.
Thanks to the wonderful feminist that Blake Lively is.
Fast forward to 2025, and Blake Lively is using the same media tactics she once condemned to destroy a man's reputation without due process. What happened to her speeches about justice and fairness? Candace Owens ruthlessly called out this hypocrisy, pointing out how Blake condemns Hollywood's corruption while exploiting it for her own gain. The irony is staggering.
We do know is that there has definitively been a noticeable transition in Blake Lively's public demeanor, right? We're kind of used to seeing, and pardon my language here, but we're very used to seeing like bitchy Blake, right? She's very unkind to reporters, and genuinely I think that there's just a lack of a better word there.
Here's where it gets even more ironic. Candace Owens dug up Blake's own words from 2018, where she criticized Hollywood's manipulation. Blake once gave interviews condemning how PR teams spin narratives to protect big-name celebrities, lamenting how power is used to distort the truth. Now, she's doing the very thing she once denounced, yet expects everyone to believe she's different. Candace laid it all bare, and the hypocrisy is almost too much to handle. You can't champion justice when it suits you and then manipulate the media when the spotlight turns on you. The irony is so thick, it's almost criminal.
She seems to hate press junkets over the years. She barely seems to enjoy her fans. She kind of thinks that she's above her fans, thinks she's above the press.
And let's not overlook the backlash from actual feminist groups. They're now distancing themselves from Blake Lively. Candace Owens highlighted how some organizations are quietly stepping back, recognizing the PR disaster of aligning with her. Supporting Blake, who weaponized feminism for personal gain, is now seen as toxic. This isn't about justice. It's about power and revenge. And Candace made sure Blake couldn't escape accountability.
Question is, have they asked for forgiveness? And Blake Lively has not. She's not said sorry. She has not even said sorry to the court. She has not dropped the lawsuit. She has not made a statement. She has not apologized to anyone for attempting to execute an act of perfect evil.
This next part was the ultimate mic drop moment. Candace Owens directly compared Blake's media strategy to Amber Heard's. The parallels are undeniable: PR manipulation, fake feminist rhetoric, playing the victim, shifting narratives, and eventual public exposure. Candace highlighted every similarity, pointing out how Blake is following the same playbook. Just as it backfired for Amber, Candace warned that Blake's tactics are destined to explode in her face. The comparison was brutal, honest, and exactly what needed to be said.
I believe truly it is not an act to suggest that Blake Lively is anxious at this moment in time with so much on the line and everything that she feels that she's worked for.
This is the fallout when celebrities believe they're untouchable. Blake Lively thought she could hide behind social justice movements to dodge accountability, but Candace Owens wasn't having it. She dismantled every lie, exposed every false claim, and unraveled every twisted narrative. Now, Blake's credibility is in ruins, reduced to a heap of contradictions and a crumbling public image. The collapse is happening in real time, and she has no one to blame but herself.
Because people are just not going to watch a movie with Blake Lively in it.
Ryan Reynolds, the self-proclaimed funny guy who avoids drama, has been fully exposed for being deeply involved in his wife's legal mess, and Candace Owens didn't hold back. Reynolds tried to play the background role while quietly orchestrating moves behind the scenes, But Candace's receipts dragged him into the spotlight. Now, his wholesome good guy image is in ruins, crumbling alongside Blake's. The facade is over, and both are facing the consequences.
We just showed you where he brought his mom in to mock Justin Baldoni and to make fun of him and his background and his family and ayahuasca. Blake Lively was present when that was shot.
Candace uncovered damning evidence. Text messages from July 2024 showing Ryan Reynolds pressuring Sony executives to drop Justin Baldoni. This revelation shatters his hands-off persona, exposing his active role in Blake's schemes. The once beloved funny man now faces scrutiny, his reputation crumbling as his behind-the-scenes manipulation comes to light.